my tracings. Not much wood to spare on this one. You can see the line goes right up to the edge. There and over there. We had just enough. We'll cut these out roughly, and we can shape them to fit in now. Here's my first rough cut. Close to the line there. I don't get right up to it. I'm afraid of blowout. This old saw has a nice fine blade on it. It tends to not blow out the wood. We'll trim the excess off of this one. I can sand it to fit the case, and then we can choose a design, which usually comes from a music rack of the piano. We don't have that part anymore, so we can make our own on this one. Here we're going to make these latticework support pieces here. We have to bend them to that shape, and these come from these. And those pieces come from piano bridges from the pianos that we take apart here. These are pretty much always made in layers of maple. And these all come apart and they turn into this. You can see where the pins were. And these are usually the perfect size once trimmed to go in there and be our supports.
Oh yeah, it looks like an upright piano.
So we'll cut
the way the bridge
shape.
bent down here, and up there, that's the notch for the plate. They're all in the same place. The notch here, right? The treble section. That's exactly what that is. We took apart so many pianos, we don't know what comes from where. Sometimes.
We'll try to label them.
Little pieces of wood.
So we'll trim these and get them ready to go be bent into shape. I guess it doesn't have to be maple. We have that stuff.
What doesn't have to be maple?
This thing. The hook.
What's going on here?
Here's our homemade boiler. It's an antique burner, gas can we cut up to make a nice little spot for this.
I think it's got a turn.
What does?
Those slots. These slots here, I think they have to be in line with
Well, that makes sense.
So the air comes out faster.
There you go.
And the heat comes out here. Hot like heck. Already making steam. We gotta bend some wood. Put in boiling water. Doesn't take very long.
There you go.
Just a few minutes.
Here's our little pieces for the scrollwork supports. Soaked to get better moisture in them. This is our cuts from the old piano bridge.
Yep.
One of those bridges in the shop. So we'll boil these for a couple minutes. Simmer them.
They're already saturated with water, so it don't take long.
When they come out, they should be ready to steam bend.
Yeah. Press them on that mold over there.
First.
Okay, it's all hot and ready in there. It's 200 degrees or more. All we gotta do is take them out here. Like that.
Oh, it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be. Should bend. Oh yeah, it's like putty.
Yep. It's maple too. How old?
Yeah.
Rock maple.
1880s probably.
Yeah, that's the real hard stuff.
That looks good. Okay,
Yeah.
next.
Very nice. They will stay that way too. Makes it easy to glue them on.
Yeah, they never
To the same shape.
never would have bent this dry.
Oh no. Maple, it bust. Snap. It'll snap. Right about now. It would break right there. You see the juice squeezing out of it.
Let's see. Are these different lengths? I think they're all the same. Let's check this. Top one and the bottom one. Hold the stick, please.
Hot, hot, hot. Of course, we need to make a jig for this. This is suffice for now. That one went around.
That worked much better.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in over a year.
Yep.
Okay,
About a year ago.
there we go. I'll let those sit for a day and
Yep. Wait till tomorrow.
that'll be our pieces. Cool.
Well, here we are again. What am I doing? Oh boy. Making these things. Ah, this was that bridge I saw the other day, that I was working on the other day. I had to position these feet on here. And right now, making these little brass hooks. That's what I call them. Little brass hooks. And had to buff them. Had to make them. It only takes me about 5 minutes to make one of these now by hand. It's just a brass rod that I had to get from a piano because I bought some brass rod that I thought would be correct at the local store. You know, it's, what is it? All True Value Hardware, blah, 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 blah. And I had trouble threading them. They were coming out all wicky-wacky, all offset from the center. I didn't know why. So I took the micrometer and I suspected the roundness of the rod was off. And it certainly was. It was just oval. Very bad. This one is almost perfectly round. This is from a piano hinge, probably from the 1920s or so. Really good piece of brass. Also, that brass that I get from True Value Hardware, I don't know how pure it is. There's little traces of other metals because they throw it in a big vat, I think. Comes from China, probably. Maybe not. But anyways, they weren't round, and it was causing my threading to go unround. These are easy to make. I can make one of these in about, well, like I said, 5 minutes. So right now I'm polishing them up. And you can't use a pair of pliers because you damage your threads, my threads. So I'm using this little block of wood here. And that holds them for me while I'm running them on the buffing wheel and how I'm smoothing out the ends. And they come out looking like this. They're going to look pretty good. I don't think I'll have to nickel plate these. I might just leave them like that. It's a possibility the wires slide better over the brass. than a nickel. I'm not sure. I didn't do any testing there. I know you can't use aluminum. Nope. It squeaks. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get all these in here. I'm not going to show the boring buffing wheel thing that happened. However, one of these did hook on the buffing wheel, and it disappeared in a microsecond. Boop! Gone into the room, busted right off flush with my block of wood right there. So I learned not to hold them onto the wheel.
Companies could stop making brand new.
I'm listening to
cars
Jace Allen on a YouTube program over there.
Enough
Boy, that's old-fashioned, huh? That's how old I am. A program.
Indefinitely.
Well, anyways, this is number 11 I'm working on here, and this is my bridge. Yes, this is very good. This has been evolving, and this is my new muting strip to shut up the wire in the back of the bridge, which is an annoying thing. See, that goes right there like that, and I can tighten it and slide it up and down and adjust it to touch the string in the back of the bridge. The speaking length over here. This is the non-speaking length. That's piano talk. Anyways, this is really cool because I can adjust the pressure against the strings with this. And best of all, I can remove it and replace the felt. The felt is glued on here with hide glue, and all you got to do is wet that with hot water, and you can change that felt. You put a thicker one, put a different color, but I like purple. Anyways, I'm going to continue here. There's my curious little hooks. They look like little animals there lined up. And let's see, what else? Oh, this is what I'm doing. It's my hitch plate, my brand new hitch plate. Made out of stainless steel now. They were made out of brass. And I had to nickel plate them, which was difficult to do, even though we know how to do it. I had to do it for the pianos, all the hardware. Can't get good plating today. Only one place I know, and they went out of business in this area. Anyways, this stainless steel doesn't tarnish. It's hard to scratch. It's really cool stuff. And here is my nut that I'm putting on here. This has to be glued here, like that. So right now I'm going to fit that to this real tight and glue it thereafter. A little thin piece of wood is for a nut riser. The string hitches here and comes out and goes over that ebony wood. Okay. Now we got piano music upstairs. A little bit. This is the old one. I ruined this one because I drilled these holes in the wrong place. Yes, and I was pretty upset about it. Yep, so I had to move them over about a millimeter, like this one. And this one is stronger. This one here, this is all this had back here. It's just this aluminum, but this one here, now that I have these hooky things in here, they're threaded into this pocket wood, I guess they call that, multi-laminated glue hard pressed wood. And yeah, I guess that's not piano wood, I have to admit. Oh well, I guess they're not all piano wood. Most of it. Anyways, that goes there now, and I got to trim this here a little bit. Doesn't have to be that wide. I like being able to take it off. The early design I couldn't, but that one works well. And here's this thing I've been working on here. I just glued this a couple hours ago. I'm wondering if this is going to be strong enough. I gotta shape it now. That glue, I hope it's dry enough. That glue really is amazing for holding wood to metal. It's amazing stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna put this in a vise now, and I'll be able to shape this piece of wood here. So it's kind of maybe a little round, like a nut on a piano or a guitar. Okay, that's it. I'll be able to put it in after. Put this back on, bring it up to pitch. So I got my feet in the right position. And I got this is stronger now because of the rotational forces on here, the torque on here. I used to cause this plate here to bend a little bit. And that was not good for tuning. I mean, just a tiny amount. Yes, normal guitars bend around probably more than that, that's for sure. Flexing. But this one is stronger. Alright, I'm going to do that. This is what it looks like now. All clamped up. Holding it steady. And I've done some chiseling on here already. I'm going to chisel this off until it's inclined here. And it seems to be working well. That glue held this little piece of ebony on there like tight. Oh, it's nice that I got some piano music upstairs. They're rehearsing upstairs. But I suppose this could be done with a CNC machine, especially before I glue it on. But it doesn't take too long. Anyways, I'm going to continue this off camera because it doesn't get any more exciting than this unless I break something. Or if my wood splits and falls off. That's some tough glue. Can't do that with hide glue. No, doesn't glue to metal. So in this case, it works out very well to do this stuff. I don't know what else I'd do. I have to use some kind of super glue somehow. No, this stuff here. This is the only place we use it. Modern things like super glue. Where would we be without it? Oh, back to hide glue days.
Okay. Just glued in this last inner scrollwork support here. These things from I think those came from a bridge from a piano. But these are done now. Those will sit there. Those will get magnets in them soon. But now I can pick a design to put on these, which is usually a tracing of one of the music racks from the pianos. Once these clamps are off, I can get both of these fit, make sure they fit, and put our designs in. And this one's going to have a continuation of the soundboard grain, so it'll look nice. It'll flow. Now that these supports are glued in, that's the last thing I needed to do before I can start with the back. We have these boards. These are wormy chestnut. This one looks like it came from a lid. It's too thin to be a side, but that's one board. It's 11 inches, a foot wide maybe.
Wow.
We can slice this and then bring this piece down there to make it wide enough for our guitar. That's a good candidate. I like the wormholes. People seem to like those. We have this one. This came from the side of an upright, I believe. It's really thick, so that could be resawed. And this is one board. We could resaw this and then book match this. That could be in the center of our back. That would look pretty cool. It's not quite as worm-holy as this one. These are just two that I picked out that are decently wide enough for what we're trying to do. We'll cut these up and maybe sand one and see what it looks like. Here's my scroll works without the scroll work cut, just blanks. I don't know what else to call them. It's not a regular guitar thing. This is number 10. I like the asymmetry on that one. That's a tracing of the music rack from that piano that this one is made out of. So I'm going to make my own design for this one. Here's a couple music racks that are just hanging around. These are, I think that's an 1880s Steinway. I'm not sure what these are. This is an odd one, but they have really cool designs, and since I can't draw, I just trace these onto this and then cut it out. I like these round parts. They usually go good in the corners. Something like that. And cut out the negative space. So I'll pick some designs for these and then start cutting them. I'll show that once these are fully drawn on next. I decided to go with this black music rack. I don't know what this is from, a Weber maybe or something. Turn of the century, Victorian type thing. Let's see what we got here. So we have, I'm going to keep this part. I can make up my own thing over here. So I'll add this part over here so it's not all barren and open, and move on from there. I'm trying to make this one a little more open than the last ones. It'll be about the same, I guess. So let's do the next part. There we go. I'm going to keep the penciled in part, so that's the only thing that's going to actually be on the guitar. I don't know about down here, it's a little funky. I might change that. I like this. That looks pretty cool. That's good. I got supports here that I added because these need to be tough. These are not delicate little things. They're designed with the thought of maybe you might grab it, do something, hit it, whatever. These are made to be strong so they don't break. You don't want them to break. So that's good. That's one side. And being asymmetrical makes it easy, so I don't have to copy this. I can just do whatever I want on this one. So that'll be pretty cool. Let's put a design on this one now, and I can start cutting them out. Here we go. Nice and simple. This should be tough enough. I could connect the point of this to this part. Trace this. But this one is tough. That didn't break in over 100 years. And people aren't going to be grabbing this. So those are designs. That'll look different. Pretty wild. Well, let's cut them out. I finished up these nice designs with that smaller scroll saw. These are nice and sanded, smooth on all the edges. And now we can add in the magnets like these have on both sides. We have not had any problems with these. No buzzing, no rattling. They don't pop out too easy. It's pretty cool. The earlier ones were screwed in, but the magnets seem to work very well. So these go in like so. This one's a little delicate, perhaps. It's only attached here. But I think it's strong enough. This stuff is pretty strong. So now I can mark where the magnets go. That's why I leave these feet around the edge. I got these for like, I don't know, $6 online. Neodymium magnets. They're very strong. They're pretty cool. So we can find a drill bit the size of this and start putting our magnets in. holes in these. Make them like so. Just the right depth for the magnets to press in. That's one test I did. Put all the magnets in on this side and then make sure the magnets are the right polarity in the body of the guitar. So I'll drill all these holes, get the magnets in like that, just super glue them in and press them in, and we can fit them to the case.